What up, y'all? It's your boy, One Sir Grove. I'm just chilling, man. Living the bohemian lifestyle. You feel me? Laid back, man. Trying to do it like Lenny Kravitz. You feel me? Yeah, man. OSGOE, Big Grove Dog, a.k.a. that rap artist, Dr. Grove. Yo, man, so I've been working with Sen the Soul Stealer, a.k.a. Sendo, a.k.a. the Brown Skin Demon. Sen the Soul Stealer, musical artist, bandmate, label mate, producer, graphic design illustrator. I've been talking about this, man. We just launched the new clothing line. Talked about this in the previous episode. By the way, thanks for tuning in. If you're a fan of 495 and Level 4, man, we fucking appreciate you. So, yo, man, I'm out here East Coasting, you know what I'm saying? The homie Sen, he's out there West Coasting. We're doing it bi-coastally, man. You know, I used to live in Chicago, in the Windy City, in the Chi, lived in California, lived in the Northwest. I live in the East now. So, yo, man, the homies, man, from state to state, got a lot of homies, man. They be in and out of ATL, that is Atlanta, for y'all niggas who don't know and ain't never known. But you know what I'm saying? Look, we got an international audience, man. So there are some people, believe it or not, man, in different countries, they be tuning in, man, to the podcast on the internet, worldwide, global web. And believe it or not, they've never heard of ATL. They're like, what's ATL? In their language. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, it's an abbreviation for Atlanta. Or short, rather, for Atlanta. But yeah, man. So, shout outs to the homie Mike Choi. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the homie Scheme. That's Big Scheme. Used to be Little Scheme. Now Big Scheme. Just like I was Little Grover. Now I'm Big Grove Dog. To the homie Scheme. To the homie Brock. To the homie T-Rev, that's Trev, a.k.a. Diesel. Man, the homie T-Diesel, a.k.a. Spank motherfucking T of 495. Shout out to Nino, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Slow-Mo. Shout out to my biological cousin, Rizzo. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to all the homies, man, from the old school. Shout out to my homie Arn Dog. That's right. From Deuce Trey. Shout out to the homie Jake. That's the homie Jake. Okay? That's not the expression where a nigga call someone a Jake because they're doing Jake moves. I'm talking about my homeboy Jake from 19th Street. 19th Street in them. Shout out to Aunt Bishop. Shout out to the homie Zone. Shout out to the homie Tension. You feel me? Shout out to Loot Money. Shout out to man, the homie, Soze Peltier and shit, you feel me? Who else, man? Fucking everybody, man. Shout out to the homie Shane Brewski. Shout out to the homie, shout out to the homie Pokey. You feel me? Man, what y'all know? Shout out to all the homies, man, from the Riverside, man. 151. Shout out to everyone, man, who's 495 from coast to coast. Shout out to all the fans, all the supporters, all our proponents. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, man, all y'all faulty politicians in the world doing faulty, scandalous snake moves, you know, serpentine, rat fink moves, superficial stooges that you be, fuck all of y'all. So anyway, man, yeah, this is the show, C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. Thank you for tuning in, man. We're talking about high fashion. We're talking about arts and entertainment, and that's what we do on this here podcast. We talk about the goings on, you know, global affairs, politics. I just want for all of y'all to know, I'm conservative Republican. That's my thing. That's what Grove does. Not everyone from 495 is, man. I mean, I got a lot of friends, man. It's like split down the middle. I have homies that are like straight liberal. They're like on the left, like they're borderline Marxist, man. They're about some like, about it being on the left. Like, and you know what, man? See, I respect that because where I come from, we can agree to disagree. We're all grown men and women. You feel me? And shout out to the homie Factor D. Shout out to the homie Tone. Yeah, shout out to the homie Tana. Shout out to the homie, in the neighborhood, man, Tiny. Sean, nigga, growing up, man, from the other, from the other side of town, man, the home, blue flags, red flags, blue flags, black flags, white flags, brown flags. Shout outs to all the homies from Deuce Trey, 19th Street, 16th Street. You know what I'm saying? The South End, going on out to Lynn Hood. Shout out to the homie. Shout out to the skipper, you know, aka the pilot and the skipper and the pilot. Man, but look, so, you know, my homeboys, they have their own opinions about what it is that they believe in. So, like, you know, having been out west, having been in the Northwest, like, I got friends from school, like I said, split right down the middle. I got the homies with the, you know, with the militia groups, man, and they be having the ARs and the M4s and the arsenals and the weapons array and assortment, you know what I'm saying? And they tend to be on the Republican right wing side of it all. And then I have the, you know, friends of mine who, you know, they're about some other things that are different, you know. But here's what's a trip about 495. We're all 495. They're all 495. And if you ask them, they'll tell you that they're 495 because, man, 495 is about something bigger than people being on different sides of the political spectrum. It goes beyond politics. What it is, it's about people who have had a meeting of minds and continue to do so. And we understand a certain wavelength of reality in that we're 495. And it's super symmetric mathematics. You feel me? And you know, putting in work, man, just coming up in this world here, man, enterprising, you know, being entrepreneurial, being business minded, always, man, been on the grind since day one, since way back in the day-o, you know, for Rizil. Man, West Coasting, Midwesting, East Coasting, you know, down south and up north and overseas. And man, that's how the fuck we do it. And so that's the energy field, mate. That's the super symmetric energy field, the 495 field. And man, we be about it. We be on that playing field. And so we got the clothing line now. We positioned ourselves. We've got the clothing line now. We've positioned ourselves to do the whole publishing house thing in terms of comic books, independent films, and whatnot. Shout outs to Yayoi with the War Brides of Japan documentary that she's been working on very steadfastly and very meticulously, very tediously, very artistically, very creatively, innovatively, and very brilliantly. Shout outs to Yayoi Winfrey. Hey, yo, shout outs to YC1. That's the homie Young Chili. Walking Winter, YC1, Young Chili. Shout outs to Boomer. Shout outs to Little Noopy from California. Chili's relative, his cousin, you know what I'm saying? Who I've been worked on projects with numerous times. That's the homie Lil Noopy. Yeah, shout outs to everybody from the Bay Area who we network with, you feel me? And everyone from LA who we network with and who we always have networked with and been connected to. Shout out to Eastside Pyru, you feel me? My Pyru homies. Shout out to Bloods Gang. Shout out to Crips Gang. Shout out to my homies, you know, from around the Wizay. Shout out to them Brown Priders. Shout out to my homies from Sereno. Shout out to my homies from Norteño. Shout out to my GD homies, folks homies. Shout out to my niggas though, for real. Hey, shout out to Rob B, who came back around the block, man, after being down in Portland, you know what I'm saying, handling his business and whatnot. Shout out to the homie Rob B. You feel that? And Young Fee in them. Man, shout out to my homies in Canada, you know what I'm saying, that we put on, you know, along with 22 Crips from the United States and my Bloods homies working together as part of this alliance. Shout out to the homie, you know what I'm saying, in Canada, man, from Secret Society and the homies from Secret Society. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Doug and I, man, we went back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Had a little falling out here and there, man. You know what I'm saying? But Doug the homie, man, shout out to Doug Crawford. You feel that? I said shout out to Doug Crawford, my homie in Canada. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man, because we put in a lot of work together, you know what I'm saying? And we put him on the label. You know what I'm saying? Doug came to me back in the day, you know, when I was on the West Coast man. And, young baller, both of us, young ballers, putting in work. I connected him to Chili, you know what I'm saying, and Boomer and them from Bremerton. You feel that? And, when I was working with the Holly Hoover Crips, then, all the others, South Seattle, you feel that? And I was out there in Rainier Valley with the homies out there, you know what I'm saying? When I was doing business with Isaac from DWC down with the crew, them folks, niggas and whatnot, you feel that? You know what I'm saying? My homie Isaac. And I used to be out there on Martin Luther King. Shout outs to the Central District of Seattle. You feel that? It's your boy, One Sir Grove. I'm talking about Brother Frost Chill, a.k.a. Brother Spade. Shout out to Dark Set. You feel me, from way back in the day, because, we used to record in the Seattle Central District, and it was nothing but love. When my homies, the niggas from 495, deep in Everett, would roll out there with Steve Wesley and them, you know what I'm saying, out to the CD, and, record there at Wine Time Productions. Shout out to Brother Red Wine, for the production work that he did, the brilliant production work. Shout outs to the homies from Edmonds and Shoreline, you know what I'm saying? Studio North. Shout outs to all the homies from 164th Street, 128, 196, off 202nd and whatnot. Shout outs to the homie Will, you feel me? And, shout outs to my Goonie squad out there in Mill Creek, Mount Lake Terrace, putting in work on the IT set, you know what I'm saying? Between there and Bellevue, Bothell, 405 and 405 in the 495 in, you know what I'm saying? 425 in and 360 in, cause man, that's how the fuck we put in work. You know what I'm saying? My homie Mike, man, with the IT squad, you know what I'm saying? Goonie squad putting in work, man. IT contracts and whatnot. That's how the fuck we came up though. Shout outs to the homies, up and down the coast, from side to side, left to right, back and forth, yeah. That's us, man. Shout outs to everybody, man. Shout outs to Cardboard Boxing them. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Shout outs to everyone, that's been on these projects, that's been about these projects, that's worked on projects with us, that'll work on future projects. Hey, past, present, and future. So we got the clothing line on and popping. Shout outs to Paxton. Shout outs to Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Ryan, the homie Ryan. Yeah, bruh, 23rd Street, Deuce Trey Block. Shout outs to the homie Tim. One of my former roommates out there. Brother of Jim. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Tim and his family. You know what I'm saying? Stephanie and them. Shout outs though. For real. It's your boy Grove. And yeah. So we got these projects jumping off like we always have. Hey, shout out to the Corkery brothers, originally from out here in New York, who moved to the West Coast. Trying to do the new video, man, with the Corkery brothers up in the video. You feel me? Because Corkery brothers, man, they were some of the very first cats that I ever met that were rapping on the West Coast from New York. They had come out from New York, and they were rapping, and they became Deep in Everett 495. So the Corkery brothers are some of the earliest rap artists where I come from, my neck of the woods, on the West Coast. When I was a kid, man, back in the day, going from junior high school into high school, they were rapping out on the block, man, and they were rapping for money out on the block too, So, man, they were hustling and grinding back in the day. Corkery brothers originally from out here, man, on the East Coast, New York. So, shout out, big shout out to the Corkery brothers. Shout out to Smiley Mike, the homie Smiley Mike. What's up, Smiley Mike? Smiley Mike, man, we always had, had awesome parties. You feel me? Like Smiley Mike, always smiling. You feel me? Like at parties, always represent. You know what I'm saying? Always got the 495 music. You know what I'm saying? And always been a supporter. Always repped it to the fullest, man. Shout out to Smiley Mike. Man, shout out to Lucky Picks. Also, Secret Society. That's right, Aaron Lloyd, the homie Aaron Lloyd. Shout outs to Lucky Picks. You feel me? Secret Society, And Man, a lot of projects, man. We worked on so many projects throughout the 1990s and the early 2000s. Man, I mean, it's just crazy as fuck how many projects we worked on. You know what I'm saying? Underground, Dragonfly, like everybody, man. Dolomite, you feel me? Shout outs to everybody, man, who's put in work with us, man, on projects. I'm talking about, man, on just any one compilation album, man. Shout outs to Inner Circle. Shout outs to Steve McKeever, Inner Circle. Shout outs to Inner Circle. Okay, you feel me? Man, I'm talking about old school shit, man. I'm talking about digging in the crates, like going back, like back in the day. Like, man, I'm talking like, man, decades in the game. You feel me? So many rappers, man. So many artists. So many upcomers. Man, shout outs, look. Shout outs to those from the early days in 8-7 Posse who were putting it down. Cool Rhyme Creator, KRC, aka Cap'n Kirk. One of the raddest rhyme artists I've ever met from back in the day, back in the early days. Just, man, one of the most phenomenal underground rap artists from the West Coast back in the day, man. KRC, Cool Rhyme Creator. You feel me, man? AKA Cap'n Kirk. Cap'n Kirk. Cool Rhyme Creator, 8-7 Posse back in the day. One of the very first, in fact, that was the very first rap concert that I ever attended. Shout out, R.I.P. to the homie, the late homie, R.I.P. MC Shoon. Shout out to Shoon, R.I.P. brother. You know, we love you, man. And, man, forever and always, bro. One of the raddest rap artists also, 8-7 Posse, West Coast, from that crew, you know, the homie Shoon, MC Shoon, man. You know, R.I.P. Shout out to everybody, man, from the Bay Side as well as the River Side, North Side, East Side, South Side, West Side, South Side. You know, all sides, man. Fucking shout outs, man. I'm just keeping it real and I'm keeping it 100. Shout out to Brandy and Brandy, you know, and Brandy. Man, I know 3 Brandys. Brandy, and Brandy. Damn. Man. So, shout outs to Alan. You feel me? Shout outs to Alan. Put in work out there with Alan, you know, the homie. And, man, shout out to the homie, Chuck U. Farley, like I said, Pokey, you know, just for clarification. Shout outs to Cheese, aka Brandon. Shout outs to the homie Brandon, the other homie Brandon. Damn, I know 2 Brandons. Brandon and Brandon. Shout outs to the homie Brandon, you know what I'm saying? Who know about that nation, you know what I'm saying? And building, nation building, you feel me? Shout outs to the homie Tack. You feel that? To the homie, you know, Tic Tac, old school, way back in the day, you know, rapping right along with Sen and myself, man, when we were at the alternative school, you know, when Sen was busting evolutionist skills for like the first time, Tic Tac was right there, you know, the homie, man. Shout outs to the homie Nene, you feel me? Damn, and Brandy too. Damn, I guess I know 4 Brandys, and Sean. So Nene, Brandy, and Sean. Shout outs to Loretta, you feel me? And my whole, you know what I'm saying? My whole crew, you know, from the east, you know, side of that line out west, you know who I'm talking about. Those of you who are following what I'm talking about and who understand what I'm talking about. Shout outs to my crew over there near Yaktown, you know, and that river over there on that side. You know what I'm talking about, near Hanford. So at any rate, man, we've been putting in fucking work, state to state, you know, state to state, city to city, coast to coast, overseas for, man, come on, man. I mean, how many shout outs have I given in this podcast? I'm coming up on 20 minutes, man, and I've just been giving shout out after shout out, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just like, damn, man. We put in work with so many people, so many projects, so many missions. Shout outs to Hino Tori from Japan. You feel me? I said Hino Tori from Japan. Like, what? That's right, man. We work on international projects with international partners. And that's how we do it, man. South Korea, Japan, Europe, like Asia, North America. Psh, come on, man. Fuck, dude. Like, is there any doubt in your mind that we ain't been putting in work, though, for real? Like, is there any doubt in your mind that we ain't been putting in work? We have been putting in work for almost, man, coming up on fucking 30 years here, man. Like, over a quarter of a century strong, deep in this fucking game, this industry, arts and entertainment, hustling from day one. Just, man, we used to be down so here's a little backstory. I guess this would be a good time to talk about this, man. Over on the Riverside, we got a lot of little different divisions and subdivisions. My homies from 495, that's deep in Everett, 151, that's the Riverside, over by the dark side of the Riverside. Because, shout outs to the homie Jamie J, and shout outs to the homie Tot Carlo. Shout outs to the homie Ruben too. Ruben the third. You feel me? I meant 2 is an also, but it's Ruben 3. 1, 2, 3. Shout outs to Ruben. Shout outs, like I said, to Loot Money and Underground Railroad, Milltown Poets. You feel me? I always give props where props are due. Shout outs to the homie Bobion. Shout outs to the homie Chris, T. Shout outs to the old school homies, the twins, Flipside Posse, Drifters. You understand what I'm saying? Man, we always just been putting in work with all kinds of different sets from all around. And so back in the day, I've never really talked about this. I rapped about it, but I ain't really talked about it openly as in terms of the podcast. So, it's not a secret. I'm just saying, like, since I've been doing this podcast with 495 and our affiliates, I haven't talked about what I'm about to talk about. So my homies from the Riverside, that's 151 Riverside, my homeboys from the Riverside neighborhood, there's a section of Riverside that's known as Riverdale. We used to click up at Riverdale Park, which is down by the river, obviously. And there's a park. And, fights, when niggas had beef with different crews, fights took place. If it was an organized fight, all the different gang sets from around, the Puget Sound, the town, from all the way, man, from Tacktown on up, the coast, man, I'm talking about, man, SeaTac on up to the tip. Niggas would meet up at Clark Park. I said Clark Park. That was where, if you were in the EVT and you had beef and you wanted to, like, handle it like gentlemen or gentlewomen, man, you'd organize some shit. You meet up at Clark Park. And man, look, if you ever seen that shit, 12 o'clock high or 3 o'clock high? My bad. School doesn't get out at fucking noon. When am I talking about 12 o'clock high? That doesn't even make any sense. 3 o'clock high, I believe. Hold on, let me Google this shit. I'm not talking about, the new one with Ice Cube. That shit was dope too. I saw the original. 3 o'clock high. Oh yeah, it won't let me Google because I'm recording. Hold up. But I can manually type here. Hold on. 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock high, 1987 film. So we used to have fights like that where niggas would meet up and it'd be at Clark Park and it was some serious shit. And then once the scrap would go down, once motherfuckers would squab and it was on, like niggas was squabbing and whatnot, like I'm talking about like throwing fucking down, like throwing punches, like knuckle punching, right? And I'm talking like, man, there could be 1,500 to 2,000 fucking spectators. I'm talking a whole big ass park with people like, yeah, go, fight. I'm talking some real shit like that. Hey man, you know how many fucking fights I've seen at Clark Park? So motherfuckers would be up in trees and shit, like sitting on tree branches, bruh, like trying to get front row seats as close as they. Man, I'm for real. Like I'm talking, man. Shout outs to Jay, the homie JS. Shout outs and RIP to the homie, my homeboy Pete, man, Pete S, man. RIP. another one of the homies. Also, Jason King Thorson, my homeboy JKT, was one of the original members of Deep in Everett 495. My homeboy, RIP, man, JKT from Oregon. That was my homie, man, from Klamath Falls. That was my boy, man. RIP to the homie JKT. And all the other fallen homies. Corey, the homie Corey, B, and the homie Solo, RIP. The big homie Solo, RIP. Solo V, RIP. That's the big homie right there. The homie Little Man, KB, Kevin B, a.k.a. Little Man, RIP. And my homie Jesse Q, RIP. It's the homie. All the fallen soldiers, all the fallen homies, you know what I'm saying? May you rest in peace, man. And so, yeah, man, Clark Park was where it went down for real. And but at any rate, though, real talk, one of our spots was Riverdale Park, where cats used to, shoot hoops, play pickup games, drink in the park, At Clark Park, on the other side of town, whenever there was a fight, as soon as there was any instance of the police whatsoever, lookouts would be like, police! As soon as somebody said, police, you'd see motherfuckers like scram. Like niggas would just scatter. Within 30 seconds, man, that park was empty. Ghost town. Man, that's real shit. Anyway, that was that was technically on the Bay Side. One street over from Broadway, one block over in the Bayside going toward the Sound. That is Possession Sound, which turns into the Puget Sound. That was one block up over from Broadway, Clark Park. Riverdale was right down along the river, and Riverdale is where 151 Riverside Neighborhood Soldiers, 19th Street Boys, 23rd Street Boys, niggas from 16th Street, all the blocks over there. That's where cats used to get down, man. We used to have picnics. We used to have parties over there. We'd be jamming out, rapping in the park. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, the homies within our own inner circle, man, we'd be scrapping with each other, just to keep ourselves tough and shit. We just be fighting, have our shirts off in the summertime, just all, on some macho shit like, nigga, fuck you. No, nigga, fuck you. Niggas just throw down with each other, then dust each other off. Man, my bad, bro. Like, we cool and shit now. You feel me? And just drinking 40s, man. Just bicking it. You feel that, man? Just doing brazy shit back in the fucking day. Man, chilling up in our biddy and shit. Because that's the biddy that I'm come from, though. That B life, man. My B dogs. The man, you know what that life be about. So, at any rate, my homies from Pyru, Bloods gang. My homies, you know what I'm saying? Affiliated allies from Crips and every other set, organization, nation. Man, we've been putting in work for a long time, so now we just went mainstream. Now we've got the clothing line out. You feel me? We got the clothing line. We just started with the comic books. We got the whole industry going, though. We're gonna do it exactly like any other breakout company that just broke out, that just like came up out of nowhere. Whether it was through like hustling, you know what I'm saying, or however they did it, whatever the strategy was, you know what I'm saying. If it was something where they weren't hustling, but they just started a company and it seems like they blew up overnight, you know what I'm saying? That's how we're coming out. We're looking at a cross-section, hybridized, hybrid organization, consortium, network, unlike anything that you've seen before. Albeit from different business models, we've drawn from this, we've drawn from that, we've taken from this, we've taken from that, politely, diplomatically, and artistically. And I'm just saying, though, that's how the fuck we're coming out, man. Powerhousing. Just fucking coming up, man. Just, raising up. Just raising up on this shit. And, man, coming with that fucking energy like Bob Dylan. That's how the fuck we come, though, with this powerhouse of a network organization. We just keep it fucking electric. We keep it fucking amplified. Amp the fuck up. Bob Dylan energy. You feel me? Some Dysonian type shit. like some Dyson technology type, like a Dyson fucking sphere, like some alien sphere and shit, just fucking powered on with some powered up shit. You feel me? That's how the fuck, man, we doing this shit. Just coming out, like I said, man, like strange music, like NWA, like Aftermath Records. Shit, man, just like that. Just like that. Remember how 50 Cent entered the industry, you know, with G-Unit in them? You know what I'm talking about? Man, just like that. Lloyd Banks in them, you know, fucking around with like Eminem in them, you know, Shady Records, Aftermath and shit, man, just coming out like Bone Thugs and Hard, just smashing out in the fucking industry. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking like back in the day when it was NWA and the Posse, just like fucking Ghetto Boys, just like Ice-T and Rhyme Syndicate, okay? Just like Eric B and Rakim. I'm talking about, man, like I'm talking about fucking Run DMC. I'm talking about some LL Cool J, I'm bad type shit. That's how the fuck we coming out, though. Man, we ain't even playing. Remember when Bad Boy was putting in mad work and it was like brand new and you saw Sean Combs out there just dancing up a storm like, this is fucking Bad Boy. You feel me? We're coming out like that, on some shit like that. I'm talking some golden age, golden era, bring it back type shit. Like 1990s, fuck all that noise. That shit is gone. You know what I'm saying? 2000s, man, that shit is old. I'm talking about loop back in time. I'm talking about like, man, you ever see Star Trek 4? You ever see Star Trek 4? And I know, by the way, man, if you listen to my podcast the other night and I was talking about C-3PO being a all gold dip robot, I made a mistake when I listened back on the podcast. I said Star Trek. I meant motherfucking goddamn Star Wars. But you knew what I meant, though. I just want y'all to know that I actually heard that and I was like, oh, shit. Errata, by the way, errata, okay? So, yes, I redact that. I meant Star Wars, not Star Trek. C-3PO is not from the universe of Star Trek, but nonetheless, he never had a motherfucking silver leg, ever. So, at any rate, at least not in the universe that I come from. So, Star Trek 4, talked about it before, spoiler alert. When they wrap around the sun, that sequence, man, that time dilation, time-lapse sequence, I don't want to ruin it for you if you ain't seen it. But if you've seen it, man. What the fuck? Dude, what? I'm talking about wrapping around the sun, loop back, 1983 type shit. Bro, watch.